Hello and good afternoon, all. I got a story that's a little bit out of my wheelhouse. Something that I really don't talk about. Mexico. But does deal some have something I'm really passionate about, and that's firearm rights. And now Mexico citizens are demanding access to firearms to protect themselves from the cartels. And maybe a lot of the people in the United States need to take lessons from there and see what happens when only criminals and cops have firearms. But before we get to that, could you all help me out by hitting the like button and subscribing? And if you want to bug someone, share my video to them. Now on to the story. Are Mexico's stringent gun control laws aiding a rise in cartel violence? Some citizens are demanding greater access to firearms for self-defense as the country's murder rate soars. Yeah, when when the laws make it so makes guns illegal, people only criminals have firearms. Mexico City, Mexico. On a military base on the edge of Mexico City, the country's only gun store, officially called the Director, Dir- Directorate of Arms and Ammunition Sales, is concealed inside a bland concrete building. Uniformed troops serve as clerks. Mexico is one of just three countries, along with the United States and Guatemala, with the constitutional right to bear arms. But citizens must travel far and wide to this one place, face a seemingly endless red tape and waiting periods, and pay exorbitant prices and fees. In pre-pandemic times, the store sold on average of just 38 firearms a day. Yet Mexico remains awash with illegal guns, almost all in the hands of cartels and criminal operatives. Yet you're making it impossible for people to defend themselves. As violent crime surged across the nation of 126 million, activists are raising the question, is it time to loosen firearms restrictions so ordinary people can better protect themselves and their families? Let's fight to regain our peace of mind. Today, Mexico needs you. The official Mexican Association of Firearms user, AC, said on Facebook. We must ensure the existence of our rights and good future for our children. Yes, I am liking that guy. Everyone should have access to the same firearms as the military. The group has garnered more than 200,000 followers since it started its social media campaign in 2011, routine posting updates on security and related policies issues in Mexico, but has yet to win over lawmakers despite the rise in crime. Because lawmakers are getting paid off by the cartels. For crime victims like Julian LeBaron, the right to self-defense has become a top issue. LeBaron, a Mexican American, is part of the offshoot Mormon community that lost several family members last November in a cartel ambush. In a tragic case of mistaken identity, gunmen killed 14 women and children. We come from a long tradition from the U.S. where we believe our human rights don't come from the government but from the right to life, liberty, and personal property. Once people claim to represent you, they claim power to do things that you are, you are forbidden to do, he told Fox News. Every person should have the means to defend themselves, especially if the authorities don't have the power to stop crimes, especially organized crime. It's become a vicious cycle. Despite Mexico's constitutional mandate, citizens only allowed one handgun and up to 9 long arms, all priced well above the U.S. market, provided they can show proof of belonging to a hunting or shooting club. There are no gun shows or private sales, and private sales are outlawed, with a gun owner only allowed to sell their firearm back to the government, which oversees all transactions. That is what the dems are going to go for. You can only buy it from the government. Background checks take more than 6 months. For most people, the high cost of guns and license, as well as travel to Mexico City, make gun ownership a luxury they can't afford. A separate permit is required to carry a concealed weapon been, by most accounts, nearly impossible to attain. This wasn't always the case. In 1971, the Constitution amended to hand over all firearms control to the federal government, spurred in part to the civil unrest of the 1960s, and some experts contend that the steady erosion of gun rights ensured. That includes the passing of stringent laws banning individuals from transporting guns outside their homes without a permit from the defense authorities. Even the gun was properly registered, unloaded, and concealed. Over the past decade, the country has been going through a process of systematic disarmament, classic buyback schemes, and anti-gun campaigns, said Ed Caldwell, a former Mexican federal law enforcement officer and cartel expert. And in some places, there's absolutely no security, no police present. Yeah. See, this is going to happen to the United States if we lose our right to self defense. We need to have more firearms. We need to have people better armed to protect themselves. So, what do you guys think? You think this is a warning message to us that we will end up like this? Also, do you support the Mexican people in owning firearms and think it should be easier for them? Let me know down below. And if you made it this far, please hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, be good, have fun, stay safe. Bye bye.